It began like every great hip-hop origin tale. Neon-lit studios, soulful riffs echoing through Harlem, and two young women linking arms while the world discovered what R&B could sound and look like in the 90s. Fast forward 3 decades, and that sisterhood has curdled into a $10 million legal knife fight so vicious it might drag a jailed Sean Diddy Combs back into the spotlight. Last week, Mary J. Blige slammed her ex-stylist Misa Hylton with a counterattack that doesn't just seek to bury the lawsuit, it asked the judge to fine Misa for daring to file it. The court date is August 18th. If Mary wins big, the fallout could bankrupt her one-time confidant and derail an already wobbling comeback bid by Harlem rapper Vado, but the real shocker? Diddy, stuck in Brooklyn's notorious Metropolitan Detention Center, grumbling about maggot-infested meals, may be the secret fuse that ignited the entire mess. Stay with me because every twist lands harder than the last. Before they were sparring in court filings, Mary and Misa were fashioning an empire. In 1992, a 21-year-old Mary needed a visual signature as bold as her raspy alto. Enter Misa. Inventive, fearless, and already intertwined with a rising A&R hotshot named Puff Daddy. She draped Mary in baseball jerseys, thigh-high boots, and leather everything, turning What's the 411 into both a sonic and sartorial manifesto. Money was scarce, but loyalty ran deep. For Mary, Misa wasn't just a stylist. She was a buffer against a brutal industry that devours young talent. For Misa, Mary was proof that a black woman could command rooms previously guarded by gatekeepers in silk suits. Through Grammy nights, heartbreak albums, and tabloid storms, the pair projected ride or die solidarity until a hungry Harlem MC named Vado slid into the frame and cracked it wide open. Tion Vado Winfrey spent years flirting with a mainstream breakthrough. Features with Cameron, mixtape buzz, a DJ Khaled co-sign, but never quite stuck the landing. By 2023, Mary believed she could change that. She signed him to her boutique imprint, Beautiful Life Productions, and booked studio time for what insiders whispered was a soulful revival record. Misa, meanwhile, had been handling Vado's day-to-day under her company Misa Management. When Mary's camp allegedly urged Vado to jump ship and join her fully, sparks flew. In April 2025, Misa filed an 18-page complaint alleging tortious interference, claiming Mary sabotaged her management contract, lured Vado into late-night yacht meetings, and cost her at least $5 million in future earnings. Vado piggybacked with a separate demand, $5 million for breach of contract, plus $5 million more for emotional distress. Misa's lawsuit dripped with insinuation, yacht outings, at intimate hours, hotel suites that excluded Misa, whispered suggestions that Mary's mentorship wasn't purely professional. Fan blogs spun conspiracy webs. Was Mary shielding a secret romance, or was Misa masking business envy as moral outrage? Fueling speculation was Diddy's concurrent collapse, a September 2024 arrest on trafficking-related counts that turned bad boy history into true crime fodder. Social media sleuths noted that while Mary kept silent about those charges, Misa publicly supported Diddy, though insiders insisted she privately felt more like Cassie than Combs, bruised by proximity to his chaos. The subtext: decades-old friendships can fracture under the weight of unchecked ambition, especially when a megastar like Mary appears to threaten another woman's last best shot at a seat at the executive table. Rolling Stone got the scoop first. Mary calls the accusation stunning, insists Misa Management isn't a real corporation, and points out that Misa lacks the state license required to collect agent fees. The filing asked the judge to nuke the case and impose monetary sanctions for wasting the court's time, a legal haymaker designed to hurt the wallet and the ego in one swing. Rolling Stone Australia TMZ echoed the language, quoting Mary's lead litigator Lisa Moore. The lawsuit was filed for the sole purpose of harassing and causing malicious injury, and text messages show Vado himself toying with dumping Misa long before any alleged yacht meetings. If the judge agrees Misa's company is a phantom entity, the central claim, tortious interference, falls apart instantly. Worse, operating as an unlicensed agent in New York can trigger fines and bar future commissions, meaning Misa's livelihood could evaporate even if Mary never collects a dime. Misa's lawsuit dripped with insinuation, yacht outings, at intimate hours, hotel suites that excluded Misa, whispered suggestions that Mary's mentorship wasn't purely professional. Fan blogs spun conspiracy webs. Was Mary shielding a secret romance, or was Misa masking business envy as moral outrage? Fueling speculation was Diddy's concurrent collapse, a September 2024 arrest on trafficking-related counts that turned bad boy history into true crime fodder. Social media sleuths noted that while Mary kept silent about those charges, Misa publicly supported Diddy, though insiders insisted she privately felt more like Cassie than Combs, bruised by proximity to his chaos. The subtext: decades-old friendships can fracture under the weight of unchecked ambition, especially when a megastar like Mary appears to threaten another woman's last best shot at a seat at the executive table. Attached to Mary's motion was a lawyer's letter accusing Misa of pocketing commissions on more than $300,000 already advanced to Votto. The team also alleged Votto failed to deliver marketable masters because he never secured clearances, delays that torpedo any claim that Mary sat on finished hits. Then came the text leak, Votto telling confidants he might fire Misa, undermining the narrative of a dutiful client betrayed in the dead of night. For Courtroom optics, it's gold. Mary looks protective, Votto appears indecisive, and Misa seems both unregistered and overpaid. But the broader significance is cinematic. The discovery process could force longtime pals to testify under oath about yacht invites, canceled studio sessions, and who really ghosted whom. If that happens, skeletons Mary and Misa buried during the Puffy era could rattle loud enough to rouse the man himself, currently locked in a cell and accusing the feds of trying to break him with rotten food. On July 3rd, a jury acquitted Diddy of the heaviest trafficking and racketeering counts, but convicted him of transporting adults for illicit services. He's languished in MDC Brooklyn ever since. Last week, his lawyer told Judge Aaron Sobermanian that prison staff serve expired, maggot-infested meals, attaching grim photos to a bail request now denied twice. Tabloids seized on the maggots line, while Page 6 reported inner circle whispers that a Trump pardon is being floated, though insiders say the former president remains lukewarm after years of Diddy shade. Why does this matter to Mary versus Misa? Because every court filing dredges up the early 90s triumvirate of Mary, Misa, and Puff. If Mary's attorneys subpoena old bad boy emails to prove Misa's company never existed on paper, Diddy's name could appear throughout, placing him under fresh scrutiny while he pleads for leniency. Misa, in turn, may lean on her shared child history with Diddy to access resources, or at least attention during the August 18 hearing. Meanwhile, fans who once danced to Family Affair now binge-watch legal live streams like a binge-worthy true crime series. On that Monday morning, Judge Frederick Bernstein will hear Mary's dismissal bid. Three broad outcomes hover: total dismissal with sanctions, the nuclear option, Misa pays Mary's fees, Vato's twin suit collapses, Misa's unlicensed agent status gets flagged to the Labor Department, partial dismissal, some claims fall, others survive, discovery proceeds, meaning more private texts and contracts hit the public record, motion denied, lawsuit moves to trial likely spring 2026, Mary faces depositions that could consume time, money, and publicity cycles just as she plans her next album era. Legal analysts say outcome number one is plausible if documentation on Misa's corporate status is truly missing. Mary's team is betting hard on it because victory would let her switch from defense to offense, perhaps filing her own damages claim for reputational harm.